The Bureau of Internal Revenue is tasked to collect 80% of the total revenue for the government. These taxes, when collected, will finance the multifarious activities of the government, such as building roads, bridges, schools, hospitals, alleviate poverty, and improving the lives of every Filipino. Today, the BIR is confronted with a rising number of taxpayers who are delinquent. For Revenue Region Number 10, Legazpi City, delinquent accounts already reached the amount of 1.2 billion pesos for year 2017. Collection from these accounts for the past 5 years was very low. The failure to collect is sometimes attributed to several reasons. 1. Taxpayers have no properties declared in their names, real or personal, which can be the subject of a warrant of restraint and or levy. 2. Taxpayer can no longer be located in the address given by them. 3. Taxpayer changed his residence and opened a business in the name of another person. And 4. Taxpayers go out of the country. These reasons and practices of the taxpayer hinder the collection of the taxes, thus delivery of basic services to the people is likewise delayed. There is therefore a need to introduce reforms that will strengthen the power of the BIR Commissioner to collect taxes. These laws introduced to address the problems in revenue collection and will serve as an alternative revenue measure that will help the government in running after tax delinquents and tax evaders. Who will be covered by this law restricting the right of the taxpayer to travel for non-payment of taxes? Only individual taxpayers, those taxpayers with deficiency tax amounting to 100,000 inclusive of legal increments. It covers only international departures. Can the BIR restrict the right of an individual taxpayer to travel without investigation of his tax liabilities? No. Everything starts with an investigation pursuant to a letter of authority issued by the Commissioner or his duly authorized representative. What is the most important consideration before a travel ban is issued against a taxpayer? There must be a certification that the taxpayer is tax delinquent. Who issues the certification that the taxpayer is tax delinquent? What are the contents of the certification? Can the BIR Commissioner issue a travel ban order? No. How will the taxpayer know that he might be a subject of a travel ban? He must have an unsettled outstanding tax liability with the BIR as determined pursuant to an investigation conducted on his internal revenue tax liabilities. He must be properly notified through the certification issued by the BIR. 1. By personal service to the last known address of the taxpayer, or by constructive service by leaving a copy thereof in the premises of the taxpayer, and this fact is attested to, witnessed, and signed by at least 2 revenue officers. What are the remedies of the taxpayer upon receipt of the certification? Taxpayer is given 30 days to settle his taxes from receipt of the notice, otherwise his case will be forwarded to the Bureau of Immigration within 5 days from the lapse of a 30-day period. Can the taxpayer avail of the temporary release? Yes, subject to the following conditions. 1. Execute a waiver of the secrecy of the bank deposits. 2. Pay a minimum of 50% of the total deficiency taxes. 3. Submit proof of said payment. And 4. Arrange a schedule of payments when the taxpayer is required to execute a promissory note that the remaining 50% of the deficiency taxes shall be paid within 6 months from the time of its execution. Can the taxpayer apply for a temporary release for medical or health reasons? Yes, subject to the following conditions. Taxpayer shall execute an affidavit stating the purpose of the travel and the number of days covered by the travel. It shall be accompanied by a medical certificate issued by a government physician. The taxpayer is required to submit an undertaking that within 5 days from arrival in the Philippines, he shall furnish the Bureau of Immigration with a medical certificate issued by the hospital in the foreign country to whom he sought medical assistance. Can the taxpayer file a protest on the assessment upon receipt of the certification issued by the BIR? No more. The right to protest has been given to him before he is declared as tax delinquent. The legislative proposal seeks to address the problem in collecting taxes from delinquent taxpayers, thereby increasing the revenue available for the government that will subsequently help in improving and upgrading the efficiency and the delivery of basic goods and services to the public. For those with unpaid internal revenue taxes with the BIR, settle your taxes before you fly.